Hi everyone, Phil from Phil's Train Layout here. So now that I have all the track finished, that's going all the way around, and modified some of the areas, I think I'm going to start with this area right here. This one here, I spoke in one of the videos about just cutting this ditch just a little bit bigger, just to give this area some more just depth and not look so flat all the time. So without delay, here we go. Just going to start cutting in. So I want to keep a little bit further, like a little bit away. So that's probably 3 feet worth right here. So I'll just maintain the same area. I'm going to lose some of this here that I've already put in, but that's okay because, you know, I've been modifying everything else. So we'll just, and it doesn't have to be perfect because nothing in the real world is actually perfect. There we go. Nice little big piece of mess. So I'll just set all this up here because I can get out the shop vac anyway and clean all that up. God, these balls make a mess. So I'm going to continue cutting away at this and get it cleaned up just a little bit. And then I'll come back and I'll show you my progress. So here we go. I have it all carved out and everything, and have everything ready to go. So I just mixed up some of my paper mache and plaster of Paris mix. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to just start spreading it in there just to get rid of some of these seam lines and potholes from all that the weird foam that has all the freaking balls in it and all that stuff, and just makes a mess everywhere. Yeah, I totally had to vacuum all that stuff up because I had balls everywhere from this extruded foam. So and I know I'm going to have a bunch left over, but that's okay because I usually use that stuff in other areas just to make little hills and stuff like that with it. So yeah, I totally made way too much. Probably could have made it a little bit thicker too, but that's okay. It'll just take a little bit longer to dry. But once that paper mache, or not the paper mache, the plaster of Paris starts to set up, it'll make it a little bit easier to work with. And then I can smoothen it out a little bit more. So I'm going to continue on with this and get this little section done. I'm going to use up this paper mache plaster Paris mix somewhere else. Okay, so it's actually starting to harden up now. I don't know, it's been maybe 20 minutes or so, and I've already been able to start working on it, and use a little bit of water just to help smooth it out just a little bit. So it's hard to see it with the little bit of, not the bad lighting or whatever it is, but being white and everything, it's kind of hard to see it. So right over here, that's actually where my church is going to go. So I did have at one point a really small graveyard in there, but now I used up the rest of the mixture and actually made it quite larger. So I'll actually be able to have the graveyard surround the church, and then at the edge of the landform I will be able to put some kind of fence in there, or an iron fence or something like that that usually encircles the graveyards around the churches. So that's everything I'm going to do for today. I'm going to let this all cure up and everything. And you probably say, hey, why didn't you add color to your mixture? You know what? I totally thought about it afterwards, after I started using it. I said, man, I should have put some brown or green in this mixture, because now I just got to go paint it again afterwards. But that's all right. I don't mind. So I decided, while I'm waiting for all the paper mache to finish curing up so I can actually continue on with that, so I decided to come out here to the garage and grab some of my items that I designed and 3D printed. There's the scrap bins, and then a bunch of skids, and those are storage racks. And these here are the porta potties. These are the garbage bins, and there's all the lids. A bunch of different size propane tanks, and a bunch of barrels, the oil drums. So these are all things that I 3D print for my layout, and I also sell them to whoever would like to purchase them. It's on my Instagram, Phil's Train Layout on my Instagram, and my Facebook page, which is also Phil's Train Layout Store. Sorry, my Instagram is Phil's Train Layout Store. So they're both Phil's Train Layout Store. I have pictures and prices of everything that I print. I've got so many more items that I've designed, and I continue designing every day, and just add more details. It's all the little stuff that you can't find anywhere else. So I'm just gonna put a primer coat on these so I can at least get some items on my layout, and get a few more details going. So I'm actually going to try to spray these a little bit far away, just so I don't blow them off the table. Probably going to have to do them in a couple coats. Oh, see, I blew that one over. Well, that actually worked a little better than I thought. Okay, standing up here. So much for that. Should get a different color primer just to. Of course, I'll have to turn some of these over to get the back side of everything as well. I might as well knock you over. There we go. I'll just let those dry for a little bit, and then I'll flip them all over and I'll do the other side. Hi everyone, I'm back. So it's been about a week. It's the next weekend actually, but you know, this is all hardened up, and same with the church area down here. So just gonna continue on with what I was working on. So we'll just get some base color on here, and I'm going kind of heavy on the paint here, just cause I'm going to use that to stick down a lot of my scenery. So what I like to do is I like to put a little bit of brown along the outside of it, just because that's where some of the ballast is going to be, just to cover that up. Now that I have the base cover on there, I'll just go over it a little bit more with a little bit of brown on the outside edge. And then I can blend that down into the green. And then it kind of makes it look like I have a little bit of green vegetation going in with the brown on the edge. And of course, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's getting covered with ground cover anyway. So, look, I just painted half my track. So now I'm going to grab some of my ground cover. So again, I will be using some of my fine turf, some of my burnt grass, a little bit of my coarse turf, just to give it some extra cover. And this is actually a mixture that I made. It's a little bit of earth blend and a little bit of fine turf and coarse and the green grass. So I'll just start off with the green grass. Get this little guy out of the way for a second. And then sprinkle on some coarse turf, or some fine turf, because it's kind of extra green and you don't want that much green, especially being in a ditch. So. And then of course I'm going to have some trees and everything in there. So I'll just put some this is earth blend. Just try to blend it back into and then we'll add a bunch of coarse turf in here just for little bushes and everything down in the gully. have another cup here. Spray this down a little bit. Isopropyl alcohol and water with a couple drops of soap. This is just my water and soap mix, or not my water and soap mix. This is just my 50-50 glue mix, which seems like it got a little thick. So I just want to just give it a little bit of stick, so to speak. So that way some of this stuff that I'm putting on here will want to stick in there, and then I'll go back over it afterwards. So then I'll come in with some, this is dark green. I want some of that to stick on the edges here. Then of course, you know, we can come back later on and you could always add more or put in some static grass, which I haven't even started doing any yet. And then add some dark green flock just to and then we'll add some burnt grass clumps. Then my glue here, and I want to put in some clumps of bushes in the bottom of the ditch. Some up the edges here. I want to put these in before I put the trees in, because then I can put the trees right through it, and then I don't have to fight around the edges of the trees, or of the bushes, I mean, to try to get the bushes underneath the trees after I put the trees in. And then, of course, you know, we'll put our water mix over this as well, but a little bit of glue there is just to help it stick in. Bit of darker color in there too. Then after that, we can come back over it with just to dull down the sharpness of some of the colors. Come back in with some green grass. Just put that over top. That'll give it like a little variation of colors in the leaves of some of the bushes, and dull down some of the sharpness of some of those other colors that we had put in. And of course, add a little bit more of our fine turf. Oh, sorry, this is earth blend. You know, because bottom of the ditches are usually, you know, burnt more than some of the others, and along the edge of the track. And then figure out what I did with my fine turf. So it's just blending, blending, blending. Then This is just a brown fine ballast that I use. I usually put it on the edge of the track around certain areas just to blend it in a little bit, because you usually have some dirt on the edge. I won't put a lot on because I will have colored ballast going on, but this will just be like an undercoating of dirt or whatever, and different colored gravel on the edge. That way some of it sprinkles down into the ditch. And then, because that is kind of sharp looking, we can go over it, cover up some of what we just put on, just to kind of blend it back in. And maybe we'll put some trees back here. So, got a couple different trees. Forgot to put some of the turf underneath the tree there before I stuck them in. A couple small little trees. I think maybe there was a path goes through there. There. I think that's all I'm gonna do to this section for now. So I'll just give you a little close-up of what we had done today. And this is all I'm gonna really do for today. I like doing it in short little bits and then, you know, get the thought process going on what I want to do next. So right there we put a little path going through just to connect the rail yard and the maintenance yard. Bunch of trees, and a few of these trees I've made myself, and a few of them I've ordered from other places. So that is all that I'm going to do for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed some of the processes that I do of painting and blending the colors in and just adding a few details. Slowly we'll be working a little bit further on some of the other areas of layout and, you know, try to bring some of this stuff back to life. Thank you for watching. Please hit that share button, hit that like button, and everybody, take care, stay safe.